Have you ever struggled with forgiveness and moving on? It's a universal challenge that we all face, navigating the choppy waters of hurt and resentment. This journey will explore strategies to help manage forgiveness, from acknowledging feelings to letting go of the need for an apology. We'll delve into understanding others' perspectives, expressing emotions constructively, and focusing on the present. So, buckle up and prepare to embark on a path towards emotional maturity and peace. Stay tuned to learn strategies to manage forgiveness and moving on. The first step in managing forgiveness and moving on is acknowledging your feelings. It's tempting to ignore or suppress the hurt, the anger, or the disappointment that comes from a negative experience. But pushing these feelings aside can lead to prolonged bitterness and stress. Instead, allow yourself to feel these emotions fully. Acknowledge them without judgment. For instance, if a friend forgot your birthday, it's natural to feel sadness or hurt. It's okay to recognize these feelings as valid. By acknowledging your feelings, you're not wallowing in negativity. Rather, you're giving yourself permission to feel, to be human. You're saying, yes, I'm hurt, and that's okay. You're validating your experiences, your emotions, and ultimately, yourself. Unresolved feelings can be like a dark cloud hanging over your head, casting a shadow over your day-to-day life. They can also lead to stress and anxiety, making it harder for you to navigate through life's ups and downs. So, when you acknowledge your feelings, you're not just addressing the symptoms, you're addressing the cause. Take the example of the forgotten birthday. Recognizing your sadness or hurt is a crucial step in processing these feelings. It helps you understand why you feel the way you do, which in turn can lead to better coping mechanisms. It's a stepping stone to healing, to moving on. Understanding your feelings can help you process them and move forward. So the next time you feel hurt, take a moment, breathe, acknowledge your feelings. It's the first step to forgiveness and ultimately to moving on. Another important strategy is seeking to understand the other person's perspective. This strategy involves taking a step back, setting aside your emotions for a moment, and trying to comprehend why the other person might have acted the way they did. This is easier said than done, as it requires a level of empathy that can be tough to summon when you're hurting. But in many instances, misunderstandings often arise from a lack of communication, empathy, or both. By taking the time to understand the other person's perspective, you can often see the situation in a new light and find a path towards forgiveness. Let's consider a scenario. Suppose a coworker takes credit for an idea you came up with. This can understandably lead to feelings of frustration and resentment. However, if you seek to understand their perspective, you might consider the pressures they're under. Maybe they're desperate to prove their worth, or perhaps they misunderstood the origin of the idea. Understanding these possibilities doesn't justify their action, but it does provide context. It allows you to view the situation through a wider lens, not just your own feelings of hurt or betrayal. And this broader view can often reduce the intensity of your negative emotions. So, remember, seeking to understand isn't about justifying wrongdoing, it's about gaining insight. It's about broadening your perspective to include the complexities and pressures that others face. Seeing the situation from a different angle can reduce your resentment. Expressing your feelings in a calm and constructive manner is another helpful strategy. This approach allows you to let out the emotions that may have been building up inside you. It's like releasing the pressure from a shaken soda bottle. The key here is to express your feelings without blaming or attacking the other person. When you bottle up your emotions, it's like adding more and more pressure to that soda bottle. Over time, this pressure can increase stress and prolong negative feelings. It can even lead to physical health issues, such as headaches or stomach problems. Let's consider an example. Suppose a family member made a hurtful comment. You felt upset, but you didn't say anything at the time. Now, every time you see that family member, you feel a twinge of resentment. Instead of letting these feelings fester, you'd benefit from communicating your feelings. You might say something like, "When you made that comment, I felt hurt. I know you probably didn't mean to upset me, but I wanted to let you know how I felt." In this way, you're not accusing the other person. You're simply expressing your feelings and your perspective. This approach can help clear the air, reducing tension and resentment. It also gives the other person the chance to apologize or explain their actions. Remember, it's important to express your feelings in a way that's respectful and considerate of the other person's feelings. Sharing how you felt can clear the air and help both parties move on. Focusing on what you can control and the positive aspects of your life right now is another effective strategy. This is about placing your attention on the present rather than being caught in the snare of past grievances. Let's delve deeper into this strategy. Imagine you had a falling out with a friend, a disagreement that has left a bitter taste. It's easy to get trapped in the cycle of replaying that conflict, dissecting it, and letting it consume your thoughts. However, this is counterproductive. You see, the past is beyond your control. You can't change what happened, but what you can control is your present. So how do you do this? You redirect your energy. You immerse yourself in activities that you love, hobbies that bring you joy. You surround yourself with people who uplift you, who make you feel valued and appreciated. This is not about ignoring the past, but rather about not letting it overshadow your present. The cause of holding on to past grievances is that it keeps us away from the joy of the present. It's like carrying a heavy backpack while trying to climb a mountain. The more you hold on to, the harder it is to move forward. But when you focus on the present, the beauty of now, you lighten your load. You give yourself permission to enjoy the journey, to breathe a little easier, and to embrace the potential that each new day brings. Redirecting your energy towards positive aspects can prevent you from dwelling on past conflicts. The final strategy is accepting that you might not receive an apology or acknowledgement and deciding to move on for your own peace of mind. It's often a challenging step, but a crucial one in managing forgiveness and moving forward. Let's delve into this. This strategy revolves around understanding that you can't control other people's actions or responses. You may have been wronged, and the person who hurt you might not see it from your perspective, or they may choose not to apologize. This can be frustrating and can keep you stuck in a cycle of resentment and pain. But here's a liberating thought. You can decide to move on without their apology. Consider, for instance, a situation where a partner did something hurtful and refuses to apologize. You've communicated your feelings, sought to understand their perspective, but the apology you're hoping for never comes. What do? Well, you can decide to let go of the need for their apology. This doesn't mean you are justifying their actions. It means you are choosing to prioritize your peace of mind, your healing, and your well-being. This doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. It takes courage, patience, and often a lot of self-love. But it's a step worth taking, because in the end, waiting for an apology that might never come only keeps you tethered to the past. Deciding to let go of the need for an apology can help you focus on your own healing and well-being. To summarize, the strategies to manage forgiveness and moving on include acknowledging your feelings, seeking to understand, communicating your feelings, focusing on the present, and letting go of the need for an apology. Each of these strategies fosters a healthier emotional state, promotes personal growth, and improves relationships. It's about accepting human imperfection, protecting mental health, and understanding that misunderstandings are part of life. Remember to subscribe to our channel for more helpful strategies and tips.